Hello everybody, this is Chaos with KLC Sports Productions, and welcome to another Protoss Bronze Masters League Series game. Today we're going to be looking at a PvP here on Merry-Go-Round Ladder Edition, and today we're going to be looking at defending some cheese. I love putting cheese games in here just because I think they tend to be relatively easy to scout, and once you have witnessed a couple times how to appropriately deal with them, it makes dealing with cheese a whole lot easier. Cheese has kind of phased out, in my opinion, over the past year or so, as Heart of the Swarm has kind of fixed a lot of those type plays, but they are still relatively common. So today we're going to be talking about defending a 9 or 10 gate. Now, you might be wondering, who the heck goes for a 9 or a 10 gate? Well, this guy did. And we're going to take a look at what he does, and maybe even talk a little bit about some of the tweaks that he could make in order to make this a little bit more effective, because I don't think he quite had the build nailed out. So by going for a 10 gate, here are some of the major tip-offs that you're dealing with a relatively early gate comparison to a 12 or a 13 per se. You're going to obviously want to compare the cybernetics core timing compared to your own. That is going to be the biggest tip-off, because if you scout your opponent normally, get in there for the first time, and just you'll kind of see that things are a little off. So I actually ended up scouting him first, which is quite nice for us. We'll go ahead and put it in our vision to give you a little bit of a perspective on how that happened. So we come in, and we're sitting here like, okay, gateway, and then we see the cybernetics core, and our gateway is just now finishing up. So basically, ding, ding, ding in my head is going off saying, wait, something is fishy here. So I am going to immediately go ahead and build a Zealot, because I know that I'm going to be dealing with really early aggression. And then I'm also going to be going ahead and throwing down an extra gateway just right off the bat. Want to make sure that we can deal with any production that our opponent's going to be going for. Obviously, with him going for the earlier gate, and if we can get our second gate up before he does, we are going to be a-okay, even if he hits a faster warp gate timing than we will. So we're going to get the Zealot up and a Stalker, as well as get our warp gate research on the way. Now, his probe gets in here, sees everything that's going on. I'm currently boosting out probes, well, a little bit. But our probe is going to come back in. We actually tried to veer him off and then decided, hey, we want to make sure we get more scouting intel. Check to see if the second gas has been taken. We actually, I think, just barely got in there to check that a second time. Saw that there was no gas, and we know that pretty much is a heavy indicator that, yes, we're going to be dealing with some serious pressure. So now that we know that we're up against pressure, we want to make sure that we're continually building units and chrono boosting out our warp gate research, because we know he's going to be coming straight across the field, and we want to catch him off guard. So he's actually going to come in here and try and get another forward pylon down. We're going to deny that probe, which is quite nice for us. And then we're just going to go straight back in until we see the second Stalker get in here. So he's going to try and do a little bit of micro, and thankfully I have a little bit more attention span than he does. Take out one of his Stalkers for free, which is nice. Stalker for a Zealot, take that trade any day, just because Zealots are slow in the early game. But yeah, we want to definitely make sure that we're continuing our production, and our warp gate research is continuing to be chrono boosted. Now, the Stalkers came out here to check this upper ground, because this is usually a good place for pylons. Unfortunately, we aren't going to see anything there, and we barely just missed each other. I guess he didn't notice, I didn't notice, whatever. And now with the second two Stalkers coming out and the Mothership core, I'm sitting here thinking, well, I took out a Stalker. His warp gate's going to be a little bit done before us, but there's no way he's going to have enough production to deal with, to go for like a 4-gate aggression. So we know we're going to have that little edge against him. So we are pretty safe going ahead and moving out. Now, we are going to see a couple of Stalkers here, and I do slip up a little bit. My Mothership core gets a little bit out of position. But we're feeling pretty good. We don't know how many gates he has out in the field, and we do see that this forward pylon is here. Start to focus it down a little bit and take out one of his stalkers. Unfortunately, the Mothership Core didn't quite have enough energy to lay down the time warp, so we are just going to get out of there with the rest of our stalkers. And then now that we've got warp gate done, we're going to go ahead and warp in a couple more zealots. Now, Zealots versus Stalkers to warp in here, you've got a couple different things. Zealots tank very well, so warping in a couple extra Zealots is going to be a good thing if you can block your ramp off and, like, press down on a couple of Stalkers. It beats them down real fast. So, force field is going to go down. Unfortunately, my Zealots get a little bit unorganized here, and we are going to kill off the rest of this. Now, I went ahead and sent out a probe because I was originally going to be doing some pressure, and I actually went ahead and was able to get up some really key pylons. So I'm going to warp in a couple of units. Since I know I've got 2 sentries here and I can easily warp back in, I was like, well, let's go ahead and use 2, see if we can come in here, at least scout what his new tech is going to be, if not get some damage done. So we come in here, don't really see a whole lot. We do see that he's finally taking his second gas, but we're like, well, 2 Zealots, might as well get some damage done. Going to take out a handful of probes. He's kind of messing around with his probes, and we do see the Stargate go down. Still haven't seen anything up in the mini-map, so we're pretty comfortable about leaving these guys here, and at this point, he knows that he has to get his units back. So he starts to warp in some stuff. He's only got 2 warp-ins, unfortunately for him, and he's actually going to start to pull probes. Now, since we've got pylons in good enough places, we can go ahead and get some more Zealots into the mix with this, and Zealots just kind of meat grinder their way through everything. And now we're feeling really good. So we obviously see with our pylons that he's moving back with his army. We're going to have 2 Zealots go after the pylons because we want to make sure that we supply block him or depower some of these gateways, which we ultimately do. So he now only has 1 gateway worth of production, which is, you know, basically putting us in a really, really good spot. And actually, if we look at the units, if we look at the units lost tab, I've already killed 11 workers. So he's really far behind as far as the economy is concerned. And I am now getting to move out on the map and clean up some of his pylons that he's left around the map. So we're feeling really good about where we're at. He starts to, I was going to cannon rush him because, you know, when in doubt, cheese with cheese, or win a cheese. I don't know. Anyways, so I'm going to go ahead and do a full warp in of Zealots, because Zealots are pretty good against Stalkers. And basically we're just going to be whittling down his units, taking out some more pylons, and basically at this point it's kind of wrapped up. Looking at the units tab, he's only got 6 Stalkers compared to our own 6 Stalkers, a couple sentries, and basically we're just killing all his probes. Not really a whole lot he can do. We're just going to focus down the pylons, and that is more or less how we seal that field. So, yeah, I think overall, really interesting game. It's been a long time since I've been up against a 10-gate like this. But yeah, that's just more or less how you deal with it. Just once you've scouted it, go ahead, get your extra gateways up. I even went ahead and started getting +1 as we got into later. But yeah, get your extra gateways up. Make sure you're active with your units in the beginning, because that's going to be really key to make sure that these forward pylons don't get out too quickly. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'd be really interested to see how you guys deal with this type of cheese. So yeah, I think that will be it. If you did enjoy, feel free to go ahead and hit that like button. And if you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscriber button. I generally do 2 videos a week. I've been focusing on the Bronze to Masters, and I'm planning on doing some more diverse content, more so for those Bronze through Gold players, help them get into Platinum. I'm really going to focus heavily on kind of the basics in the new series that's going to be coming up, so definitely keep an eye out for that. Yeah, so I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you guys in the next game.